Hey, everybody, welcome back to episode 25 of Samp&Chance. My name is Bobby Sampson, and joined with me, as always, is my man with the master plan, Mr. Chance Michaels. Good evening, good sir. How are you?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Doing great, man. Broke out the tank top because it's over 20 degrees. It looks like we might be getting the start of summer now. Yay.
Yep, but yet tomorrow it's going to rain.
That's okay, as long as the temperature's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's, at the end of the day, it can rain and whatnot, but rain in 20 plus degree weather is never too
Yeah, I don't mind that. It's muggy out today, though, but it's nice. I'll take
bad.
that over the cold any day.
Yeah, I know. I really enjoyed it. I came home, took a shower, put on the tank top. I said, yeah, you know what? It's okay for home now. I don't know if it's ready for the public yet, but it's nice to kind of be more comfortable at home.
Absolutely.
Speaking about home, here we go. Devin Haney away, far away from home, going up against George Ferocious Kambosos Jr. for all the gold, brother, for all the gold, for all four titles, the ring, and I believe the lineal title as well. Lightweight championship, 135 pounders is all on the line this Saturday, this Sunday in Australia. Haney comes in at 27-0 with 15 knockouts. Can you believe the guy's been fighting since he's 17? He's only 23 years old.
I know. Still a kid.
Still a baby. Well, I won't say he's a baby, but I mean, in terms of boxing and whatnot, the guy's been going at it for a while. 27-0 is huge,
Pretty
huge.
impressive.
It is impressive. I mean, well, we'll talk about that in a bit. Kambosos coming in at 20-0 with 10 knockouts. He's turning 29 in a couple of weeks, so he'll be fighting at 28 this evening.
Yeah.
On that evening. 5'8" for Haney with a 71-inch reach, where Kambosos has the height at 5'9.5", but he has the little Tyrannosaurus Rex arms at 68 inches.
Yeah,
Explain that to me, man.
I don't know how that works, but he's got the reach, so just genetics, I guess. But he's got a little bit of a reach advantage.
Right on, man.
Play.
So before we get going here, what's Vegas telling us, or what are the bookies telling us?
According to the sharps in Vegas, Haney is the favorite at minus 167. I guess they don't have much respect for Kambosos because he is the underdog in his hometown at plus 135. So basically, put $100 on Kambosos, you'll win $135.
Interesting.
Kambosos likes it. He was saying, I like being the underdog. Last time he was the underdog against Lopez, look what happened. So
it's kind of interesting. I mean, I think this year has kind of shown us what having home field advantage in boxing can do in a couple of cases here. Anyways, you look at Teofimo, he fought in his backyard against Kambosos.
New York, Madison Square, yeah.
Right. And he basically, well, he came up short. I don't know if he crumbled to the pressure or he, whatever the case may be, home field advantage didn't work for him. Now, the same thing happened for Josh Taylor when he fought in Scotland. And technically, he did lose that fight, but, home field advantage gave him the victory. The judges did.
Yeah, it's hard to say with Kambosos. I mean, this is going to be a second big fight. I mean, we're going to find out, did he get lucky that night against Lopez, or is he really that damn good? I'm going to answer that question this Saturday. I think he's that damn good, but we're going to find out because Haney's no joke.
No, Haney's no joke either. But, I think, okay, well, here, let's break it down this way. Let's look at skills first. I think overall, the skill set goes to Haney in terms of being precise, being a sniper, being smart in the ring. Just the skill set, I give the advantage to Haney 100%. Now, I know that Kambosos comes from your man's school.
Yeah.
He sparred over 200 rounds with Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao regards him very highly.
Very highly.
So he's no joke either. But I will give the skills overall to Haney in this one. I just think overall, I think he's a much well-rounded, much more skilled, technical fighter than Kambosos is. And I'm only looking at a small sample from Kambosos. I'm not saying he's any slouch. He's a great fighter. But I think he's more power and he's more of a punch-out guy. I don't look at him.
He doesn't quit.
Yeah, he has that heart and he doesn't quit, but he's more of the punch out type of fighter, in my opinion. He's more of a puncher. where science and defense and technical skill kind of goes to the side of Devin Haney, in my opinion. What about you?
I agree with what you're saying. Just that I got to give the edge for the grit, the heart. Kambosos more of a brawler. He wants to rough it up. He wants to get on the inside. That guy has, like he's been saying in his press conference, he's got that heart. He's been through it all to come full circle to bring this fight back home. What he said he was going to do years ago, and he actually did what he said.
Mm-hmm.
So he says he's going to put Haney down this time. I don't know if he will, but so far everything he said he's done.
Yeah, no, 100%. I can't disagree with that either. And it's hard to not like either one of these guys. For me, anyways. I don't know about
Yeah,
yourself. No, I like them both. This is a very, very different buildup from what we saw last week with Roly and Tank. Um, Is he a bit of a different side of George Kambosos this time around? I'm
yeah,
kind
he's
of,
been a little bit. He was calling him a rat and his
yeah.
lowest form of life, because the story behind that is that Haney was sending him messages on Twitter about Lopez's, how he trains, how he likes to fight, all these inside tips. Haney never denied that he did that, which is interesting.
Well, I mean, he probably did. There's no
Mm.
reason to deny it. I mean, okay, here's the thing. Here's the business side of it. Of course, Haney wants to face the winner of this, right? He probably saw the easier route, the easier title victory against Kambosos Jr. than he probably did against Teofimo Lopez at that time.
Yeah.
At that time, right? Um, so it's very possible. He never denied it. Absolutely, he didn't. He never said once. And I've watched other interviews after that presser, that kickoff presser on Monday. I guess it would have been, or Tuesday in Australia, but we got it Monday. That's trippy how far ahead they are, man. I was looking
I
at it.
know.
It's almost like 21 hours ahead of us.
They're going to start that pay-per-view at 11 in the morning over there. So
Well,
we can get it
yeah.
in time in North America.
What are you gonna do?
I love
What
it.
are
I
you
don't
gonna,
mind, but it sucks for them. I
well,
guess it's okay to fight in the morning, I guess, but
UFC does it too,
yeah.
right? And I mean, okay, outside of the Pacquiao Jeff Horn fight, what other big fight have they ever thrown in Australia? And I'm asking you because I didn't look it up,
I don't know. I think that's
right?
that hockey one is the biggest one today. This one might break that record. They're thinking about 50,000 people at Marvel Stadium. We'll see how many show up, but
Last count I heard, they got about 45,000 tickets sold with whatever's left over. So
you know,
let's find
I
out.
got I got nothing but respect for Haney to go to Kambosos' backyard when 99% of the crowd is cheering for you. Your dad can't make it there because of his past criminal charges. Your new trainer can't make it because of his connection to that mob guy. Now you're using Zab Judah's dad as your trainer, and you're still not making excuses. My hat's off to that guy.
No, well, Yoel Judah has been with him since he was a kid as well.
Yeah,
So that's the one benefit that he has. But we'll get into that, into the mentality part of this. Um, why don't we just go to that right now?
yeah,
Um, I think the mentality goes to Kambosos in terms of his experience. Like, granted, he's got 7 less fights than George has,
yeah,
but training with Pacquiao, being in the ring with him, learning from him, having that experience of being on the road. I mean, this is nothing new for what Devin is facing this time. He's been doing it for about 5, 6 years, having to fight on the road. Like, I mean,
yeah,
Kambosos hasn't fought at home in 5 years, right? So
yes.
from that perspective, I think that maturity level and that experience level kind of goes in the favor of a George Kambosos in this
Yeah,
field. Now, I think Devin Haney is doing something absolutely extraordinary. And
absolutely.
take nothing away from George Kambosos and his skills. Yeah, I've said the skill set is better for Haney. And yes, I think the edge and mentality goes to Kambosos in this particular fight. But nothing can be taken away for what Devin Haney is about to do. Like you said, his dad, Ben Davison, um, for whatever the reasons may be, one can argue the Australian government is trying to, pat it as best as they can
I
themselves. And
understand the dad thing, right? He's a past criminal. You don't want criminals in your country. Okay, I get it. But I mean, the trainer has no record. It's because he's associated with that guy who they say is a mobster. Come on.
but see, I don't know how much he was associated with him, or it was just because he was associated with MTK,
Yeah, it's because he's associated with MTK. They weren't
right?
buddies, but even if he was,
Exactly. Right.
I
So
mean,
I almost wonder, like, is the government trying to fucking make it easier for him, try to stack the deck? Like,
they
let your
should let
trainer
Ben.
in. Let
They should
let
let Ben.
Davison. Exactly. I mean, Davison's been in his corner for his last 7 fights and whatnot. And like, it's kind of
And his
unfortunate.
dad's charge was like 30 on drug charges. That was like 30 years ago, like 91, 92. Haney wasn't even born.
Well, that's the thing, and so I kind of question their government and their motive. I mean, look at the Australian Open. Look how hard they made it for
Djokovic,
Djokovic to get into the country.
because he wasn't even vaxxed. Yeah,
Were
there's a
you
little
right? Were you guys scared that he was going to take a title from one of your Australian superstars? I mean, what has Australia produced tennis wise since Pat Cash? Thank you. I'll leave it
yeah,
at that.
yeah,
Right?
exactly.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying, like Australia is beautiful, and I know it's whatever, but come on, man. We'll call that the Jimmy Johnson, or no, the who's the owner of the Cowboys?
Jerry Jones.
That we'll call that the Jerry Jones moment of the show. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's
come
a
on,
little.
man.
But Haney's not making excuses, right? So if he loses, I hope he doesn't make the excuses afterward. As it stands right now, he's made no excuses. He's
No,
ready to go.
he's made zero excuses. He can't make any excuses. He's just because that will just give people any reason in the world to kind of say something, right?
And the reason Haney's getting this fight was supposed to go to Lomachenko, but because of the war, he stepped aside so Haney could fight. So they're saying that Lomachenko is training right now. So the winner of this fight will be fighting Lomachenko.
Well, that's kind of interesting because there's also the rematch clause here, and then we got the tank. I mean, the web is getting more and more tangled every day here now.
It is, yeah.
Mentality, it just I think we're gonna watch Devin Haney grow up in front of us in the matter of 45 minutes that night.
I think
We're gonna watch him grow leaps and bounds one way or the other. My biggest concern for him is like, okay, he's saying all the things he's saying, and all the analysts, including us, we have our opinions, but we're not the ones getting into that ring.
exactly.
We're not the ones going to war. None of us are, and outside of maybe ex-boxers themselves who can truly attest to anything they say. We're just analyzing and giving our opinion, right? But my big concern for him would probably be like as strong as you prepare yourself mentally and as much as you try to be at that level that you say that you are, that you say in your mind, what happens when you're in round number 5, mid-round, and you got to change your game plan and your dad's not in your corner?
Or Ben Davison's not
Or
there.
Ben Davison's not in your corner. You know what? Not so much Ben. I'm not too concerned about Ben not being there, but his dad not being there, who's been with him every single step of the way,
I
down to
know.
the times where this kid was fighting at Tijuana at the age of 15 and 16 years old,
Yeah, and
right?
like I said, with Haney, could have easily said, you know what, my dad can't be there. He's my trainer. I'm not doing the fight, but he didn't stop him. They're still actually trying to get the dad there. It's very unlikely the government will let him through, but they're trying to.
No, if they were going to get him in, he would have been here by now. I mean, with
Yeah,
2 days left to go, he'd probably make it at this point. He'd probably make it the day of the fight, if not very late Saturday
yeah,
night there, right? So, I mean, it's almost impossible to think that he will be there. I don't think they can even think that way in his camp right now.
yeah. That's what Haney was
Um,
saying at that press conference. Like, we're still working on my dad getting here, but he's not getting there. He would have been there by now.
exactly. And, my only other concern would be, yeah, he's got Yoel Judah in his corner. He's going to be his trainer for the night. Will they be strong enough to tell him what they need to tell him and what he needs to hear?
I
Because
think so.
Ben would, his dad would,
Well,
but
Judah, well, you all Judah trained his son's abs since he was a kid too, so he kind of got that father son thing going on. So I know he knows that what to do, how to, he'll tell him what's up. He's a good trainer. He won't be
no,
scared. I don't think so.
yeah, and
You never
I
know
know.
though.
Well, the other
They're
piece
gonna
here
have a good
from
game plan.
yeah,
Kambosos keeps saying they don't have a game plan. They have a game plan, guaranteed. Haney's too good of a fighter not to.
well, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Kambosos, but I mean, let's look at last a couple. I'm going to look at 2 fights here. One fight from either guy that I think really defined and really taught them a lot about themselves going into this fight. These particular fights that they had were key to what they're going to be able to accomplish. Now, I look at Mickey Bay when he fought George Kambosos Jr. and Mickey Bay kind of pulled it out in a close decision, but he learned a lot about himself in that fight in terms of dealing with pressure, dealing with the mental aspect of it. And we can even look at the Teofimo Lopez. He got knocked down in that 9th round, but he jumped back up and he dominated. Via a la Tyson Fury after he got knocked down in the 12th,
Yeah.
right?
He's
So
got a
so
heart of
you
a
know
lion, that guy.
yeah, I know he's got a heart of a lion. He is a true warrior. He has heart. I'm not going to take that away. Now, my only concern for Haney is this is going to be the strongest guy he's probably ever fought.
I think so.
right? The strongest guy, the strongest puncher, the hardest puncher that he's probably ever faced in his life. This is probably the best fighter that he's probably ever faced in his career to date.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's taking nothing away from Jojo or Linares, but let's talk about Linares because I think that was a huge learning curve for for Devin Haney going into this fight. Now, Linares is known to be not that heavy of a puncher,
Yeah.
but he shook up. He shook up Haney. He almost, and if that round went any longer, Haney would have probably gone down,
That's
right?
exactly how it was looking. Yeah, he got saved by the bell.
He got saved by the bell in that fight against a guy who's not known as a puncher at all. So from that perspective, I think when I look at this fight, the way I kind of look at it, Haney has to fight the smart fight for 12 rounds.
Yeah.
Now it's not going to look pretty in the eyes of the casual viewer, and I'm sorry for that. But hey, man, if we love boxing, and I would love to see Devin Haney work his skills, work his jab, stay on the outside, do his thing, and bag rounds. That's the only thing he can do, in my opinion, and wait for that opportunity as we get into the seventh, eighth, or ninth rounds. And then if he sees the opportunity to take the shot, take the shot. But in my opinion, the worst thing he can do, and I think this is what George is going to try to get him into, is into a firefight,
Absolutely.
right?
George
Into
high
a
pressure
punch out.
fighter like
Yeah,
Pocket coming at him.
exactly. Now he has to avoid that. If he decides that he has no choice but to start exchanging, I think this is where he loses.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, and Kambosos got a great gas tank. It seems like that guy never gets tired out there. So he's been talking about that a lot in the press conferences about his gas tank and cardio. It's well known that he doesn't gas out.
Yeah, he
So
doesn't gas up, but I think there's a lot more. This is going to be a different fight for Kambosos than any other fight that he ever has. I mean, now they're talking about him being a role model for all the younger kids in Australia. Like he's elevated the sport of boxing in Australia single-handedly, with everything that he's accomplished. And good on him, man. I want to see more great fighters. I don't even think we've even seen what Oceania can provide us in terms of what's out there. We don't know. I mean, if there's one place in the world that's really kind of separated from the rest of the world, it would be Australia and New Zealand.
yeah, way out
There's got to
there.
be some real tough motherfuckers out there, man.
Absolutely, has to be.
We don't even know about half of them. That being said, Jermel Charlo now has to defend against Tim Tissue.
Yeah, I seen that.
That's a mandatory for him, another Australian.
He's got till
And
June 20th to make his mind up.
yeah. But it's only the only reason I know the name because the name came up in their presser, in the post-fight presser, when the guy from Australia asked him a question about, Tim Tissue said this, right? And he's like, Tim who? Right? Like he didn't even. I'm sure he knew who he was, obviously, but
Yeah,
yeah.
he's not
So
well known.
no, he's not well known. But then again, what do we know about him?
The only thing I know about him is 15-0. He's the
Well,
next
well,
man up, right?
well, that's it. But I only know that myself because I looked it up. You
The
know,
only one thing I ever known about him is that I know that because Jeff Horn beat Pocky, is that he beat Jeff Horn
right,
a couple years ago. But other than that, I don't know anything about him. Nobody
right,
does.
right,
New up and comer, 15 fights.
right. So like I said, Oceania does have talent. It's just unfortunately on our half of the world, and we don't see it that often. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just
Charles
think
gonna take the fight. He's not gonna give up his belt. He's gonna fight him.
no, he's gonna fight him hard. He's gonna fight him hard. But at the end of the day, I think if he stays away from the firefight and he just works his match, works his style, and just stays to what he knows, I think Haney wins. But
Yeah.
my only concern with that style of fight, there's so many variables here, man. I'm taken back to Pacquiao Horn.
Yeah, Pocky
Pacquiao
got it.
dominated that fight.
I know, as a joke.
That was a joke. I hope that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I don't think this fight's gonna go the distance. I think somebody's gonna go down. Maybe a ref stoppage late. I'm thinking like round 10, round 11. But I think Kambosos' gas tank, he's just might be too much. Haney's never been enough with a fighter the caliber of Kambosos yet. We know Kambosos can beat Lopez. Haney has never been in there with that next level yet.
Yeah,
Not saying
well,
he can't pull it off. We're gonna find out on Saturday. But I'm thinking round 10, round 11. I think Kambosos is gonna stop the fight.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go the other way and I'm say round 10, 11 for Haney. I think that Haney will outwork him. I think Haney will start to frustrate him. I think the pressure of the crowd will start to get to Kambosos. The pressure of everything that he's been talking about, the pressure, I think just the pressure in general will get to him at some point. I don't care. You know what I mean? You can talk all you want to talk and whatnot, but once you walk out there and you have those 50,000 people and all the expectations of an entire nation, a fucking continent, forget the country, an entire continent, the pressure of an entire continent on your back. You can say what you want until you actually get out there. It's like, okay. And I apologize to any children who are listening to the shows, but like a guy saying, yeah, man, I could be a porn star.
Mhm.
And until he gets onto set and his shit doesn't wake up,
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. But for me,
right?
Ken, everything he said, he's done it. So I got no reason to doubt the guy. So I think he was in a big pressure fight with Lopez in Madison Square Garden, in his backyard, enemy territory, beat him up. So I think he's going to actually the opposite take it. I think he's going to feed off this energy. I think he's going to thrive in. I think the crowd's going to push him to the next level, and I think that'll be enough to get the win.
Okay, fair
Well, I
play,
will be
man.
betting this fight. I will be betting Kambosos to win. So I mean, we'll see what happens.
Hey,
But
and I
I
can't
wouldn't be
disagree.
surprised if Haney wins.
Yeah,
Haney's no joke.
like I said,
He's a
I
class
won't,
act. He's a
I
class
won't
act.
just, yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you at all. I think what everything you said is valid, which makes it so beautiful because it could go that way or it could go this way. You know what I mean? Like
This fight's 50-50. It's
it's
that
legit up in the air. Style wise, stylistically, they
mm.
both cancel each other out.
I
Uh,
just hope if it goes to decision, I hope the judges call it fair. Best man wins. No bullshit. Doesn't matter if
I,
you're not. Yeah,
I need to see a finish, man. I need the ref to stop it. I need a towel thrown in, or I need one of these guys to knock the other one out. It can't go to the judges because I'm afraid if it goes to the judges, I don't think it's going to be fair.
probably not.
And that's just
Wouldn't
the
be fair what they
unfortunate.
did to Pacquiao, so they'll do that to Haney too.
Right. And they're talking that there won't be any Australian judges. They're all going to be
Yeah,
neutral
there's not
ground
gonna be enough
judges.
really good, which is good. They shouldn't be.
Right. Right. But again, how much is a judge watching the fight or actually basing their decision on crowd reaction?
It's a fair point.
I
A
mean,
good judge
Look at
watch
the
the
Rolly
fight.
fight last week. Everyone thought, okay, Rolly was up 4 rounds to 1. But if you look at it, two of the judges' scorecards going into the 6th round had it for Tank, while
I
only
know.
one judge had it for Rolly.
Insane. Insane how they see it, eh?
Right. So I don't envy the role of a judge, but at the same time, it's just, I don't want it to go to them, man. I'd rather judges wouldn't even be there.
Oh, I hear you. I just hope they don't. There's nothing controversial, right? Best man wins on the judges' scorecard or in the ring. But yeah, I'm with you. I hope it doesn't get to that point where the judges
Yeah, yeah.
score the fight.
Now we've seen a bit of an edgier George Kambosos this time around. I thought, we saw more of a humble, more respectful kind of guy with the Tiafimo build up and everything like that. A lot of people said that he was too quiet. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really have much of a voice and whatnot. And I mean, he did say his piece and whatnot, but he didn't make it. I think that's what made it that much more surprising when he did beat Tio. Um, was the fact that no one really expected it because the
Big
way he
underdog.
came across, right?
Yeah.
And this time around, though, now this is the really interesting thing. He kept calling him an informant, a rat,
Yeah. The
uh,
lowest form of life.
the lowest form of life. Now, why wasn't any of this brought up before? Like, have you ever heard of this until that press conference on Monday?
No, no, he kept it quiet. And he's wanting to sell the fight, two pay-per-views too, right?
I get it. You know what? But it's kind of funny now. Like,
I
this
guess
is,
what Cambosa's angle is like you are friends with Lopez. They're buddies, Haney.
yeah, yeah,
And then you're telling me he does all these things, all these things. And then when I beat him, you're mocking Lopez.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that's why
Then
he's
again,
saying
he wants to fight, right?
yeah.
But then again, I guess Haney came back and said, "Yeah, well, you're a traitor too
When he
for
started
training with
Pacquiao.
yeah for training Pacquiao against your countrymen."
Yeah.
So is that the same thing in your opinion?
No, it's not because Kambosos is right in that he was training with Pacquiao even before this fight was announced. Years before Horn and Pacquiao went at it, I think it was July 2nd, 2017. Before
Yeah,
they went at it, they were sparring. Like he
awesome.
came up with them for the last years, right? So it had nothing to do with it. Just so happened Pacquiao's like, I'm gonna fight Jeff Horn. So he kept sparring with him, but it had nothing to do with that.
Okay, so Kambosos has been under the learning tree of Manny Pacquiao. Fair enough.
Top rank, yeah. He's top rank,
Right,
right?
right. So we cannot forget the fact that Haney had spent a lot of time under the learning tree of one Floyd.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he said to him in the press conference. You're not Floyd. He's like, I know, I'm Devin Haney.
Yeah. And you're not Pacquiao, you're George Kambosos Jr. So there's a lot there that we can both take from that. Like you got the heavy puncher in Kamboso who's coming from that style,
Yeah.
and you got the thinking man boxer, which is Floyd.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun. I think this is gonna be a really, really fun night, man.
Yeah. Excited
Bottom
for it.
line, he's got to fight smart and wait for the opportunity. I think that's his opportunity. I think that's got to be his MO.
Totally agree. It's going to be electrifying. The crowd's going to be lit. It's going to be beautiful weather. I mean, man, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's winter down there too right now. It's still pretty warm though, I think. But they do have a retractable roof, so it's potentially open air stadium. But if it's pissing rain or whatever, I'm sure they can close it up too. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Absolutely.
I
Fun.
am gonna go out on the line, and I'm gonna say Devin Haney is gonna win this in 11.
I got my boy George from Top Rank and Team Pacquiao. I got him to stop him by the 10th round.
Okay.
Ref stoppage.
All right.
We'll see what happens. Anything can happen, but it's going to be fun.
And you know what? At the end of the day, no matter who wins this match, and I like
Both guys. I like them both.
I like both guys, but I think they're just keeping the titles warm from one Lomachenko.
It's so weird because Lopez beat Lomachenko and then Kambosos beat Lopez. So styles make fights. We'll see what happens. But Lomachenko is going to have the winner of this.
I think Lomachenko just had a bad night.
Yeah, man, I love watching that guy's footwork. He's just so light on his feet and the way he moves.
Yeah, and I say that only because he's fought twice now since losing, right?
Yeah.
Or has he only fought once?
Once or twice. I'm not as 100% sure.
All I know is the fight that I did see, he looked absolutely amazing.
Oh, he's amazing.
To the point where he's telling the other guy's corner, please, I don't want to
beat him up anymore. End it. Yeah.
I don't want to beat him up anymore.
Yeah, no, I love Lomachenko. I'm a huge fan of him. This division stacked. It's loaded. You got Shakur Stevenson. You got lots of guys hanging around here. There's lots of good fights to come for many years. These guys are all young. I mean, Lomo's 34. He's the oldest, but still got a few good years left.
I was just thinking of Shakur Stevenson. You know who I'd like to see him fight next?
Who?
Ogawa.
Yeah.
Kenichi Ogawa would be a fucking nice fight, man.
Yeah, it would be good. Even Shakur, even Stevenson versus Lomo. There's so many fights. There's so many ways they can go.
Yeah.
Fun.
Well, you look at him. Everything from 130 to 147.
Yeah.
Is sick.
And Lopez, Teofimo Lopez is fighting again in August here.
Yeah.
That'll be a tune-up fight. He'll win that, and then on to get back in the mix again.
I hope so, man. You know what? Like I said, I know that guy gets a really, really bad rap. Maybe
he's nice to his fans. Got to give the guy that.
I'll tell you what, man. He gave me personally. I know you had your interaction with him on the casino floor. I caught him out. Yeah, I caught him outside, and you know what? The guy gave me almost like 15 minutes of his time.
I think he's trying to rebuild his reputation a little bit, known as that jerk. So he's like, hey, dude, everybody on the casino floor there, when I was standing by, I was talking to your buddy Top Dollar.
Top Dollar.
I look over, I'm like, crap, that's Lopez. He wasn't annoyed. He wasn't bothered. Everybody that came up to him for a picture, he was totally cool about it. He shook your hand, asked you your name, where you're from.
Yeah.
Some guys get annoyed, but that was at like 2 a.m, and he was okay with it. So
no, he was great, man. Like I said, man, Tio, if you want to build up the character and you want to get the story out right, come talk to us at Samp&Chance. We'll make sure that people hear the real story.
Absolutely.
I keep messaging him. And I'm hoping eventually he's gonna say, "Fuck these guys, man." I'm gonna.
Did you send your picture that you guys got together?
I've sent everything, man. I keep sending it, but you know what? I think just like our good friend Mr. Molitor, he's gonna make us work for it, and that's okay by me, man. Because hard work, the reward is that much better.
Well, let's have a little bit of fun here. Transition into boxing for a couple minutes. Just talk about. We've done 4 or 5 interviews so far.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite one so far, so people can hear?
Oh God.
Like, not who you like the best. Which one do you think was the best one? Questions and the guest and everything.
Okay, I'm gonna say Steve Molitor just for the fact that we worked for that one. Right. Not to say that we didn't work hard for the other interviews that we did, but they were easier to organize and to put together. You know, the groundwork was the same, so to speak, but the follow-up and the constant, you know, just trying to connect
Yeah.
and finally connecting and having that moment with him and having someone who's accomplished as much as he has in boxing, so to speak, um, was a very sweet reward for me personally.
Yeah.
That being said, anytime I get to talk to Otto is awesome because his whole way of thinking and his unselfishness is phenomenal.
Great, man. They're all, you know,
You
the
know?
funny thing about all these guests we have, they're all great guys in their own way.
Yeah,
For me personally, I was listening to all of our interviews the other day. In my opinion, yes, Molitor is probably our biggest name for sure. But I think this is for all you people that are listening, for our most interesting interview with the best stories and best entertainment is probably the one with Scotty Mack.
yeah,
If you
100%.
want wrestling history and a little more formal, but still a great guy,
Yeah,
man,
no,
right?
100%. I
So,
totally
I
agree.
mean, it
I
depends what
loved
you
it.
like. Everybody likes listening to different kind of things. If you're feeling goofy and want to hear silly stories and a fun career, Scotty's the one you want to listen to, which are still our most popular listen to one.
Yeah, yeah. No, hey, and taking nothing. I love Scotty. You
All good
know,
in their own way, but yeah,
exactly.
I think
I
Scotty is
love
a
Scotty, and you know, we go back and you know whatnot, and you know, thank you very much, Vance, as well, and everyone else that we've spoken to and taken the time out of their busy schedules to grace us with their presence and their stories and whatnot. But I guess I'm only saying Steve because we worked for that one.
Yeah, well, I'm not even thinking of that way. I'm just thinking about when I put it on Spotify and I'm driving and when I'm listening to it. I think the Scotty one, it's a little bit longer than Steve one, but I think it was the most fun, most entertaining personally.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Mulder one was great. When Mulder was joking around, he's a great guy. All of our guests have been great. But from the feedback that I got from some of our fans and the friends, they always say that Mac one, man, just that was
Yeah,
great.
no, for sure. From
And
a
most
listening
people that listen to
perspective.
that don't even know who Scotty Mac is. So they're like, oh man, this guy's something else, you know?
Yeah. No, for sure. From a listening
They're
perspective, I
all great.
completely agree. I just think
Yeah.
from a work perspective, I guess that's where
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
mind went, you know. But yeah, no, I think so. We've
And
been really
Mahler's
fortunate.
he's first class. He's a great, great guy.
Oh, totally great guy,
And
man.
Vance too.
Fantastic.
They're all great. Otto.
No, for sure,
They're all
for sure. Um, I know that we will be getting a couple more guests here pretty soon. We
great.
just in the process of working out some kinks and trying to figure some things out. Um,
Yeah.
but you know what? I think let's just wrap it here, guy. I know that game number 2 is going to start pretty soon for you.
Oh, big game, man. I'm excited in Colorado. We need this one. Don't want to go down 2-0.
Is Smith starting or no?
I don't know. I haven't checked yet. I heard yesterday the coach was 50-50, but I don't know, man. The guy just left in so many, like, I don't know. Left in so many soft goals, right? I mean, you know, he's got us there, but like, dude, you got to make some big saves here. You got to do something. I don't
And
know. I don't know who's starting.
what do you make of the Rangers taking 6-2 game 1?
Love it. I was saying like on our podcast, but I think Rangers are going to win this just because Tampa's got to lose eventually. They haven't lost a series in 2 years.
3.
But game 1, they're loaded, man. But
No,
6-2, that was quite a beating.
3 years, bro. Oh
Yeah,
no,
so
sorry,
it's
sorry, 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 sorry. This would be their third Stanley Cup
their
in a
third
row.
year, yeah. So
So
it's
this
still
is so they've gone 3 years in the playoffs so far without losing a series.
that's right. So I'm just
Okay.
thinking something's got to give here. You know, the puck will go the Rangers' way. They'll get that extra bounce. And who knows? Tampa's loaded, and they're not going to go away easy.
I think what separates Tampa from all the other teams right now is when you're seeing their top tier players laying down to block pucks.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
that's what wins these Stanley Cups. When you see your Stamkoses, who are pretty much injury prone,
mhm.
is constantly laying down to block pucks. Kucherov laying down to block pucks. These guys are not paid to lay down and be blockers.
They want it, dude, bad.
They want it. They want that title. So, you know, a young Rangers team can learn a lot by watching them play. But yeah, they got that. But I think you just woke up a monster.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And before we're going to wrap this up, when do Chance's top 5 with the one and only Bobby Sampson? Are you ready for action?
Bro, unscripted. Let's do it.
All right. Let's hear your top 5 heavyweights of all time, your personal favorites, not what the experts rank them, what you rank them. So it could be
Have,
anybody.
have we done this before?
Nope.
Okay. Muhammad Ali.
Okay. One.
Um, fuck. Muhammad Ali, Tyson, Lennox Lewis, um, Tyson Fury.
Okay, one more.
And I would probably have to go with someone like George Foreman, who got it done in different generations.
And he made a hell of a grill. That grill sold like hotcakes, man.
You know, it was supposed to go to Hogan, but he wasn't home when the phone call came.
Oh, George, oh man, he made a lot of money. Did you ever have that grill? I had that
I
grill. My friends had it.
I don't know if I actually had the George Foreman version, but soon after, I'm sure there was so many other versions came out of it,
Yeah, it's all the same. It was okay. It was
right?
nothing special. Just more of a cool man. This is George Foreman's grill, you know.
Yeah. What's your top five?
For me, well, this is no order, but Tyson Fury, Evander Holyfield, Vladimir Klitschko, obviously Tyson, and just because I'm Canadian, I'm gonna have to say Lennox Lewis for what he's done.
Mhm.
So those are my five favorite heavyweights. But there's so many good ones, but those are the ones that stick out.
Fair
I used to
enough.
like Riddick Bowe a lot too when I was younger, but a lot of good ones.
Riddick Bowe. Awesome.
Yeah. So
Awesome. All right, brother man. Well, listen, let's
yes.
wrap it up here. Let's get this going. So everybody, this Saturday on ESPN Plus, it's going to be on Sky Sports in the UK, pay-per-view in Australia. I don't know if it's probably going to be TSN here in Canada. It's not a pay-per-view for us.
TSN maybe, or maybe something on ESPN Plus. Is it coming on in Canada?
Well, if it comes on in Canada, if it's on ESPN Plus, they're not treating it as a pay-per-view, right? It's not a
Yeah.
pay-per-view in the States and it's not a pay-per-view in the UK.
Yeah.
It's only a pay-per-view in Australia.
Okay.
So if that's the case, and because it's on ESPN Plus, which is a subscription-based service, which we don't get here, it'll probably be on TSN
Let's hope so.
because
Because
that's their
remember,
affiliation, right?
well, they got hockey on that night.
Well,
And
TSN doesn't have the playoffs
yeah, I know, but I don't know. I don't know if the fight's on TSN because last time they did, they didn't have TSN didn't have it on.
because it was a pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, it was another fight that was on ESPN Plus. TSN doesn't always play those boxing fights. Sometimes they play them a couple days after. They don't always play them live.
No, this one they'll play. I guarantee it.
Okay.
And you know what,
So,
guys, look out for my post. I'll post something on TikTok and Instagram for you guys to let you know when all this is happening.
yeah,
That being said, man, you know what? I can forget to do this every goddamn time, but you know what? Here we go. Like and subscribe. Please take the time to like and subscribe. Click that little dingy bell or a little bell in the corner there if you're watching this
notification
on
bell. Yeah.
YouTube, so you guys know when our shows are up. Go to our Instagram page, Samp_Chance. There you'll find our bio link. No excuses. Every platform that we're on, wherever the podcast is available, if you want to listen to it or if you want to watch it, it's all there. The YouTube link is there. The Spotify link is there. The Apple Podcast link is there. Our TikTok link is there as well now. I've been starting to post some videos up on there as well. So, Samp&Chance, we're putting the name out there. We want all of you guys to join us on our journey to greatness as we work our way towards undisputed ourselves.
Absolutely.
So like and subscribe, please follow us, leave a comment. I'm still waiting for people to say something. You know what? I just want to know what's going on with you guys. I want to know what you guys think. We want to know what you guys think. We want to know how you guys feel about us and what we can do better and what you guys like to hear more of. So let us know. And you know what? We're just going to wrap it up here. Chance Michaels has George Kambosos Jr. is winning this in the 11th round.
10th round.
10th round, sorry. I say Devin Haney will win this in the 11th round. The worst thing that could possibly happen, it goes to the judges' cards. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be fun. And I think, like I said before, we're gonna watch a young Devin Haney grow up right in front of us tonight or on that night. He's got the world against him. He's got the cards stacked up against him. And he's not the first guy to ever have that kind of situation put in front of him. But how many guys do it at 23?
Not many, man. Mike
Right?
Tyson, a couple guys. There's not many.
Yeah. So, but I'm talking about, having everything against him.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I guess Tyson did in a way too, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
This is Australia, but yeah.
And this is not like going to England to fight. You're literally going down under.
Yeah.
Right.
Gonna
So,
be fun. Can't wait.
before we head out here, I just want to wish both these fighters all the best. I hope both guys come out of it safe and they're able to talk about it after and carry on with their great careers. One way or the other, somebody's going to lose their oath. One way or the other, someone's going to gain a lot of titles or someone's going to keep all their titles. So either way, you know what? I'm not going to be upset either way.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Ultimately, it's going to be a fun fight. May the best man win. Um, that being said, my name is Bobby Sampson.
And Chance Michaels, as he always says, anybody who listens, subscribes, downloads, shares, and comments to the podcast, we salute you.
Absolutely. And as Bobby Sampson always says, thank you for letting us in your ears. And in the meantime and in between time, that's it for Samp&Chance. Have a great night, everybody. We'll be back with a quick hit probably Saturday night or early Sunday morning to give you guys a quick review of this fight. Until then, be safe and look out for us on Instagrams and TikTok. Talk to you soon.